Okay, hi, welcome to video 2. So the second video follows on from context, and we're going to have a look at the macro of this poem and see if we can apply it to the context. So we're going to have a read through this poem, we're going to have a look at the basic form and structure of it and make sure that we know how that can link to the overview of the intention and tone. So let's read through it first. War photographer. The reassurance of the frame is flexible. You can think that just outside it, people eat, sleep, love normally, while I seek out the tragic, the absurd, to make a subject. Or, if the pictures, such as lifts the heart, the firmness of the edges can convince you, this is how things are. As when at Ascot, once, I took a pair of peach sun-gilded girls, rolling silk crumpled on the grass in champagne giggles. As last week, when I followed a small girl staggering down some devastated street, hip thrust out under a baby's weight. She saw me, seeing her finger pressed. At the corner, the first bomb of the morning shattered the stones. Instinct prevailing, she dropped her burden, and mouth, too small for her dark scream, began to run. The picture showed the little mother, the almost smile. Their caption read, "Even in hell, the human spirit triumphs over all. But hell, like heaven, is untidy, its boundaries arbitrary as a bloodstain on a wall." Okay, so if I just zoom out so that we can see this poem as a whole, hopefully what you've gotten from that reading is nothing rhymes, and that's a choice of the poet. And also you will notice that there's no exact structure, the stanzas are all different, and again that's purposely the decision of the poet and plays into the form of this poem, okay? And it plays into the intention that they're trying to make about modern war. So let's have a look, because let's pop this up the top, by the way, in our intention colour for our macro. Okay, so the things that we need to know, because it doesn't rhyme, we've still got 1, 2, 3, 4, we've still got 5 stanzas, but it's a free verse. So what we mean by that is that there is no syllable structure to it, there's no rhyming structure to it. So this is called free verse, and normally this is used to represent natural speech. So 5 stanzas, free verse, and that's more than the natural speech perhaps of the war photographer themselves. They're just revealing what they see. So there's no rhyme to this poem at all, and there's very little figurative language as well. So you'll notice that there's not an awful lot of similes or metaphors or personification, and again that's a purposeful decision because we're seeing through the narrator's eyes of a photographer, and he is, or she is, factual and uses what's in front of them rather than trying to create a descriptive picture. So we've got little figurative language. Remember what I said about making sure you say why. There's little figurative language which links to maybe the role of a war photographer, that they don't need to blossom it up and describe it. The pictures and images speak for themselves. It's already devastating enough. So this is because it's the view of the narrator. Okay. A couple of other things to definitely pick out in terms of structure for this one is you will notice that there's tense changes in here. So we start in present tense and then we move into past tense. So we've got you can think, I seek out. So we've got present tense in stanza 1, and then when we look at stanza 2 and 3, I took is past tense, last week is past tense, shattered past tense, picture showed. So interesting, and we'll have a look at why that happens, but stanza 1 is in present tense. And then 2 to 5 is in past tense. Again, conscious decision. Everything is a conscious decision in poetry. And one of the other things I think is also important for this last part of this video is I'm just going to zoom out a little bit so that you can see it. Hopefully you have noticed the use of the enjambment and the dashes, which are used here and here and here, but we also get it between stanzas. Look at the gap there. Now remember what I said before about, let's just get one of those pictures to show you again, that this is not just about what's inside the frame, but also what spills out of the frame. And I think that's reflected in this poem. The enjambment is what spills out, what's not seen. Just like reality, it's not neatly tied up in a frame. The structure of this poem reflects that reality spills out of the frame, what you can't see. So remember that is shown through. We've got the dashes. And the enjambment. And remember, we always link it to intention or topic, and we're linking that to the idea of what spills out of the frame. So the reality, what's not seen, nothing's tied up neatly in one single picture. Essentially, a picture can't speak 1,000 words. It can give us a snapshot and a small moment, but perhaps is not a full reflection or a true reflection of everything that's going on within war. Okay, hopefully that's given you a better understanding of the macro linked to our context. The next video will have a look at the first 2 stanzas, and I will do another video for the last few.